Hello everyone, Jim Murray with SellingOCNJ.com, your go-to source when it comes to buying or selling here in Ocean City and the surrounding area. I want to dive into, I think it's the perfect time. We're through the summertime. Kids are back in school. Weather's beautiful. The stores are still open. It's the perfect time for a September 2024 market update. And if you're looking to buy or sell here in Ocean City, you do not want to miss this video because in my mind, the next 6 to 12 weeks are going to directly impact you. So to me, it's valuable information and I would certainly watch it through to the end. With that being said, I want to discuss a couple things that I noticed this spring. I want to talk about where we currently are, where I think we're going, and how that can impact you as a buyer or impact you as a seller. So, a couple things quickly. The one thing that stood out to me this spring is that rentals in this market were down 30, 40% going into the summer months, and people were nervous. Now, I don't know where we landed just yet. We're going to analyze those numbers and see, but ultimately brokerages were down. They were down big time. And if you bought in the last year, 18 months, 24 months, with a high interest rate, paying a premium for a property, and you were factoring in the cost of those rents, I think you were impacted this year. So that's concern number one. Concern number two, demand. All right. So for the past 4 to 5 years, we had been averaging 2 to 2.5 months worth of inventory. And the lower the amount of months, the seller's market, the higher amount of months would lean towards buyer's market. We were averaging 2 to 2.5 months of inventory. As you know, we've been in a crazy seller's market. Well, in May, June, and July, which is historically one of the busiest times of the year with the most demand, I saw that number jump to almost 5 months worth of inventory. Now, think about it. All right. You're in the time of the year. People want to get in to use the property for the summer. They want to take advantage of the rents that are booked, or they want to prep their property to be ready for rentals, get it advertised. Well, to see that demand drop off like that was just as concerning of seeing the rental market down 30 or 40%. Now, fast forward, okay? Well, why would that impact us? Well, I'll tell you why. We're now entering a time of the year where demand drops, all right? Yes, it is still beautiful here in town. I'm not saying you can't come down and use the property during the holidays, but historically, statistically, I guess I should say here, most people are back to their normal routine. Like I said, kids are back in school, you're dealing with sports. You just don't have the vast majority of people coming down here and eager to rent or utilize their property during the winter months. So we're going into a time of the year where there's just not a lot of demand. But people usually like to come out and they like to shop during that time of the year because you might be able to get some value. You can get your property set up, or if it needs some work, you have time to do it. You know, there's a lot of reasons why. Or maybe you just don't care and you just want to get out with a little bit more inventory and try to find something, and that's okay too. So why I think we are going to continue on this pattern is for a couple reasons. One, I think there's a lot of certainty out there in the economy. I think that people are not as confident in making a big second home or investment or vacation home purchase. I think that if people were impacted by a lack of rents, they're going, wow, you know what? This was fun owning this property, but this isn't the investment that I expected. And I think some people are concerned. I'm not saying that I am or that everyone is, but if you have concerns with the direction that things are heading in, if you saw the shift in the demand, and you don't feel like there's going to be a major shift ahead of us, and you think that that trend's going to continue, well, most likely you're going to try to throw your property on the market and exit. So I think we're sitting right now at about 4.5 months of inventory right now. I think that that trend continues at least through the new year. And if people are optimistic about the results of the election, one way or another, I think we start to see that shift upward, if they're optimistic, into the spring of 2025. Or we're going to continue to slide if there's not a shift in optimism, I think we're going to continue to slide through spring of 2025 and into the summer. So I do see and feel the concerns out there. I am getting the feedback from some buyers, but here's my tip for buyers, and this is how I would handle it if I'm a buyer and I'm looking to enter the market. Number one, you have to have the right set of goals, okay? If you have a 5 or a 10-year plan and you're looking for a place that you may want to rent a couple weeks, mostly though the goal is to enjoy it as a family and build memories, and you just retired or you've been dreaming of owning a vacation home in Ocean City, who cares what the market's doing right now? You're going to weather that storm. You know, every market's got peaks and valleys, okay? So, but historically, if you span outward and you look at the Ocean City market, it's a fantastic investment. So please take this as short-term advice rather than a long-term investment if you're capable of making that and if that's your goals. I think it's still a great time to get out there and buy and try to make deals and negotiate if you have the right goals. So keep that in mind. And look, we just came through hell as a buyer. I mean, for the last 2 years, 3 years, you would up against, without a question, you'd be up against multiple offers. You'd be paying over asking price. You would have to eliminate multiple contingencies just to be competitive. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. Get out there, get through properties, look at them 2 or 3 times, bring contractors through, shop the best rate, have a proper inspection done. You can get back to business as usual. Because I feel like right now, the ball's in your court. As a seller, and this is a loud and clear message to you, if you don't incentivize buyers to come off of the sideline, your property is going to sit. For my estimation, you have a 6 to 8 week window. And that is before an election. Then we're going to fall into the holidays. You have 6 to 8 weeks. If you're trying to sell right now, 6 to 8 weeks to get your property prepped and listed and attract qualified buyers. The days of looking at the most recent comp and shooting for above that, they're over. The days of looking at some random number on the planet Mars and saying, we'll see what happens, they're over, okay? The average days on market, we're upwards of 45 plus days now. I mean, that was unheard of 8 months ago, a year ago. So the market has shifted. My advice to you as a seller is to be aggressive out of the gate. Now, I'm a firm believer that the market doesn't lie. If your property is worth more, well, you'll have a bunch of activity. You'll get multiple offers potentially, and your property will get, the price of your property could potentially get run upwards. You'll also have the ability, if you have multiple buyers, to pick the best terms for you. But any seller that's taking an approach of throwing a pie in the sky number out there and then sitting back there and thinking that people are going to negotiate 100 grand off or 50 grand off or 200 grand off, you're wrong. Your property is going to go stale. You're going to miss this 6 to 8 week window, and you're going to find yourself twiddling your thumbs through the holidays and into the winter, wondering if you missed the boat. So, and I'll tell you, I really think you're gambling, because if there's not a shift in optimism here, and there's not a shift in the direction of this market, I think you're going to continue to see your investment sliding in the direction it's been over the last 3 months plus. So take my advice, list a property correctly right out of the gate, list it aggressively, and wherever that most recent comp was, I would say I wouldn't go back any further than like 3 to 6 months. Wherever that most recent comp was, place your property a pinch below that most recent comp. And I think that that would serve you well. I just think the topic of this market update is market shift. It's the best way to put it. It's turning into a buyer's market, and sellers are going to have to come to terms that their pricing has shifted and that their strategy has shifted. But if there's anything that I can do for you, if you have any questions, or if you want my opinion about a particular property, reach out. I'd love to help you. Shoot me a message, give me a call, anything I can do. But enjoy your fall, and stay tuned for the next video.